Welcome to the Open to Hope Show. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Horsley, with my daughter and co-host,
Dr. Heidi Horsley.
So we have got some people on that are working on helping kids who have had trauma.
Tashel is an assistant professor at the University of Missouri, Columbia. She is an expert on death and dying, grief among African American youth, particularly homicide deaths.
I do a lot of work with Black adolescent male youth, looking at their experiences with violent death losses, not just the violence piece, but the death piece that encompasses a serious look at attention to their loss experiences. And so what I found is a number of these youth are coping with multiple significant losses over time. They're coping with a lot of these deaths in the absence of support, and oftentimes by well-meaning people who probably would love to support them but don't feel equipped with the tools to adequately provide that support. My approach is that we've looked at all types of things. We're failing to look at these youth as holistic beings. With our youth, especially our Black male youth, we're needing to do the same thing. Not compartmentalize them, but look at the multiple losses that they're coping with to support them. Well, I'll tell you some very hopeful things that have happened. One is I do a grief education program in Missouri right now. It's a shared grief education program, surviving, healing, evolving through death. And what I find both in my research and also in practice is that these youth are very pleased to talk about their experiences. And so we need a lot of healing work with these youth to see some changes occur. I think it's hopeful that these teens show up. They show up to meet with me. I validate that they've had a loss experience. Oftentimes they're coping with so much that it's normalized in our society. And so they're enacting all of these dangerous strategies, needing to carry a gun or you know, that mask that they show on the outside when they're coping with so much on the inside. And so I sit with them and I lend them my ear. I bring water and peanut butter crackers. I mean, that's very basic, but I start with just very basic needs and validate their loss experiences.
The next person that's going to be on is from Harlem, Mothers S.A.V.E, and it's Jackie Rowe-Adams, and she has done some fabulous work in trying to get guns out of Harlem and out of the neighborhood. And unfortunately, she has lost two kids, Anthony and Tyrone, to gun violence. Jackie, it is so great to have you on the show today.
It's great to
appreciate you
it's
coming.
Great.
Anthony and Tyrone died separate years apart.
Anthony was 17 when he got killed. Tyrone was killed by a 13-year-old.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
I woke up and said, enough is enough. What are we going to do about all these killings? But I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I said, enough is enough. We have to call a question. Who's putting these guns in these kids' hands? We went to Assemblyman Keith Wright's office and crying all over the carpet, 5 mothers. Just 5 mothers saying, what are y'all going to do about it? We don't want to keep putting the blame on the politicians. We don't want to keep putting the blame on the police. We don't want to keep blaming all the teachers and the schools and everyone. We are to blame. We have to take back our kids. We have to take back our community. One of the things our organization, Harlem Mothers S.A.V.E, is doing is prevention and education. We're doing prevention by talking to these families that have no clue. These mothers and fathers don't have a clue. One of the things Harlem Mothers is doing is first responders. I was telling Tashel earlier, we go to the hospitals when these kids are shot to let the family know, we know your pain, no revenge. I whisper in the mother or father ear, and I say, I lost 2 kids to gun violence. I know your pain, but no revenge. Stay engaged with your children. We, Harlem Mothers, is getting ready to have a day of conversation and fun with cops and kids.
I like this.
Because 3-year-olds is now saying they're scared of the cops. They don't like the cops. So we have to take back our community because we need the cops. We, as advocates and as adults, as educators, as doctors, as lawyers, we have to begin and continue to tell them it is hope. We have to take back our community, take back our kids, and all kids are ours.
I like that.
We have to remember that and give all our kids hope.